I'm Sienna.
And I'm Toast.
We're partners in love, life, and music, and we've been together since 2001.
With each episode of this podcast, our goal is to help lesbians and lesbian couples lift their lives to the next level.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, and welcome to the Sienna and Toast podcast. We hope we're catching you at a time where you're feeling great and loving life.
And today on the podcast, we are going to be talking about pivotal moments.
And by that, we mean each of us is going to try and share an event or a chapter in our lives that we believe changed the trajectory of our life.
Now,
It sounds so serious.
we do feel like you will have many pivotal moments in your life.
Yeah, I hope so.
So we're just picking one, and we're going to share a little bit about that and why that's important. But first, we want to say that Bonnie, if you listened to the last episode, Bonnie did reach out to us and confirmed that her birthday is indeed October 31st.
Bonnie is on it.
Bonnie's on it. She was right there.
Just popped right up. And I was like, are you serious? Dang, Bonnie.
She's efficient.
Incredible. Yeah, it was such a thrill
She is
to
great.
hear from Bonnie. And then Amanda popped right up. I mean, on our blog. Thank
Amanda,
you, Amanda.
formerly known as Alo, because people won't know. Well, no, they would know Amanda, but anyways, formerly known.
Or still known as Alo. I don't know.
Then we have Ruth.
Ruth the Moo.
Well, no, it's Rue the Moo.
Oh, Rue the Moo. Yeah, that's right. Rue the Moo.
Rue the Moo, because
Okay.
her cat.
We cannot be the only ones who refer to people
as their Instagram name.
as their Instagram name.
I know. Because we do, though. We're like, oh my God, Colonel Mustard just liked our
Right.
picture.
Oh, yeah, and up with the
my
pugs.
God, Cheese and Olive.
Right.
And their names are not Cheese and Olive, but we call them Cheese and Olive. And Toast and I know exactly who we're talking about. So anyways, it has become such an Instagram world. But also, we want to say mahalo to the Bad Cats out in Hawaii who popped up too. Bad Cats and their Rocket. Their cat,
Rocket. That's great.
Fisher Girl.
And Mel.
Fisher Girl and Mel.
All of these original.
Jen.
All of these original.
Sherry, Stephen. Yes, so thank you all for being there, for either seeing our Instagram or Facebook post or having subscribed to the podcast, and then all of a sudden, you saw it on your phone. So thank you.
And stayed subscribed for 7 years. Like, what?
With nothing.
Oh, my God.
So thank you. We were very happy to hear from all of you, and we're looking forward to hearing from more of you. So reach out to us. Say hi. Okay.
Our Instagram
Our Instagram, yes.
is Sienna and Toast.
Yeah.
We keep it boring for you.
And Toast.
Yes.
So, anywho, something else. Okay, so the last time we were recording the podcast, I was very rude and did not have great podcast etiquette in the sense that not only was I clinking about, which I'm sorry, you're going to hear some clinking on this episode too, but I even slurped when I got to the bottom of
Unintentional.
my cup. But the clinking, we thought you folks might want to know this. The clinking is because we moved to reusable straws.
We used to buy plastic straws
I
from the
know.
Dollar Tree.
Hurting the
And then we
ocean
would throw those plastic
land.
straws away. And
I know,
we
it's
just
really
thought,
bad.
This has to stop. So we decided to buy glass straws. Well, actually, we tried stainless steel straws first. Then we found out about glass straws. And we just want to recommend to you all, get the glass ones. These are shatterproof.
Get the glass straws because for me, anyways, there are two reasons. The stainless steel straws do have that metal taste, which is not so fun. But more important than that is with the glass straws, you can really see that you are actually cleaning the inside of the straw very well. So that was really the main reason why I did not want to move to reusable straws.
You need to be able to clean them
my goodness.
and be assured
Kinda
that you will not
creepy.
slurp up some leftover.
An old remnant of
I don't
something.
know.
I don't know,
Yeah.
right?
So when you buy
yeah.
these reusable straws, either stainless steel or glass, usually, right? Like it comes with the appropriate sized bottle brush, so you can, clean your straws.
Clean your
just
straws.
so you know.
Yep. So do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the glass ones are in different colors. So if you have a bunch of friends over, you can each have your own color and not mistakenly sip from somebody else's straw.
It's very true. It's very true. Okay. Do I have time to tell them about the tuna?
We might need to save it for the next episode.
The tuna?
Because we want to talk.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So we...
Tuna.
You're such like a tease. That's like you did a tuna tease. All right. Anyways, we will share.
Oh my God.
We will
Okay.
share
Jeez. I don't think we're going to
vegan-
not edit that one out.
vegan tuna comment. We will save that for the next episode.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you
I
are
cannot wait.
enticed by that. Okay. All right. So let's move on to
Pivotal moments.
pivotal moments. Okay.
So, since this is a Sienna and Toast show, do you think Sienna should go first?
Well, I will go first.
You are?
How
Okay.
about that?
Okay.
So pivotal moments. So as I mentioned, I've had several pivotal moments, as I would imagine all of us have them, but the most recent one is the one that really stands out in my mind for me, and that was in 2016 when our sweet Kumin passed away. She passed away in July of 2016. And we talked a little bit about her on the last podcast, and we had her I had her for over 19 years with me. And so when you think about that, that's like, I've had unconditional lovins for over 19 years from this beautiful, sweet soul. So when she passed away, there was so much processing to do, and there still is, like I had mentioned.
Yeah. And I think, too, because she passed away from a cancer, right?
Yes.
Which required a lot of extra hands-on care, very attentive, constant care for a long period of time. And so that kind of routine, and that kind of close involvement with her for so long, and then she passes, and then there's that empty space. I think that magnifies the loss in a way.
In a way, but also in another way. I feel like it helped to prepare me because it wasn't sudden. But also I felt like, the routine. And one day, like we mentioned on the last podcast, one day, part of the healing process will be to get the information organized and to present it on our website for other people who are dealing with a cat with squamous cell cancer. But the care that she needed was pretty intense, and it did involve about 6 different feedings.
Yeah, like hand feeding,
syringe feeding. But here's what this is how I felt, though. I felt like it was an honor to do that for her. I mean, it was the least I could do for her, to be there right by her side, to feed her, to blend her food, to have it all ready for her. It was the least I could do. So when people would hear what I was doing, because we would be out and it's like, okay, sorry, I got to go home because we have to go feed Kumin. They're like, oh my God, that's like so much. But it was like, it's my honor and my pleasure. And it's my turn now to really give her back that love in this stretch of time. So that happened in July. And as you can imagine, that was already a lot. Then September of that same year, my grandma passed away, and that was just like, oh my God, that on top of the Kumin passing was huge for me because my grandma was the one who raised my brother and I. So she was like my mom.
Right.
And even though she had required a different type of care for many, many, many years. But when this happened, we weren't expecting it. She had an issue and she had to go to the emergency. And so we heard about it. They said it didn't look good. We tried to get back before she passed, but we didn't make it. And so it was very, very stressful.
And when we say get back, it was to fly back to Hawaii.
Fly back to Hawaii, yes. And so anyways, so with all of that, especially with the passing of my grandmother, I felt like, I guess when someone passes, you sort of reflect back on their life, which also in turn just starts you reflecting on your own life.
Yeah. I think, and you reflect on their life and your little place in it.
Yes.
Like you see, like they live this whole life and I got to play this part in it.
Yes. And so one of the things that really struck me and why that's such a pivotal moment for me, or a pivotal time, I would say, 2016 was a pivotal year, I would say, for me, is because I felt like I didn't feel like she actually did sacrifice so much to take care of my brother and I. In fact, when she passed in 2016, I was the age she was when she took my brother and I in, which she changed her whole career so she could be home with us. She changed everything. And I felt like all of her dreams were just really pushed aside and there was no time for her dreams. So what that started for me is really assessing my life. And I realized that, oh my gosh, I am just wasting my life here. That sounds dramatic, but I felt like she gave me this great starting point, and I did not follow through with really being persistent with my dreams, going for it, staying strong. If I fall off, pick myself back up. It's like somewhere along the way, I fell asleep. And so when she passed, I looked at my life and I was like, I got to change some things. I want to change some things. And that is really what opened the door to so much. And, we will share in more detail through several podcasts about that particular time. But really, it just sent me on this other trajectory, sort of learning all these different things and
just being more intentional, being very deliberate about like, okay, wait a minute, stop, like
living.
Pause.
First of all, having a vision for my life again.
Yeah.
And living each day to the best of my ability with the intentions that I set out. It really, it just woke me up, basically. It was like I was sleepwalking through life, So, and all of that led up to an amazing 2017.
And
that ended with our decision to move.
Yeah.
And a beginning of 2018 where we are here in Portland. Mm-hmm. And it all started with the reflection that the circumstances of 2016 brought. Mm. So that's
great. Whew.
Was that intense?
A little bit.
Was it? I feel like it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But in the best way, right? In the good way. Because you took the message, you took the message from life or universe, however you want to call it, from grandma to, and, took it to heart and did something positive with it. Like you took action on it instead of just going, whoa, and then just going back to the usual, right?
Well, it's kind of amazing when you think about that moment when you are willing to really look at your life. Mm-hmm. I mean, it starts with that. Like, am I willing to really look at it versus just going around numb
and just getting
and not
by
looking
and being
at
okay? Yeah, just
being
like it's okay.
Being
it's
on
okay.
autopilot.
Yeah.
People asking you, "How are you?" You're like, "Oh, I'm fine." And you might trick yourself into thinking you're fine. Mm-hmm. But when you really are ready to look at your life, sometimes you'll find that you don't love it. But the wonderful thing about that same moment is that when you realize that is your opening to make a decision if you're going to change it.
Mm-hmm. And you can.
And you absolutely can.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Toast, what was your pivotal moment?
Well,
out of your many pivotal moments,
definitely the one that came to mind, and again, it, like you said, it's not just one moment. It was a chapter, a phase, right? Has to do with realizing that, boing, I'm gay. I mean, that was a big deal for me.
Boing. What is that?
Because that's how it feels like when you're like, wait a minute.
But you had felt that before.
Well,
though.
Here's the thing, and I know you talked about this in previous episodes, but it was like so long ago, so I'm just going to say it again. I grew up in a family that went to church every Sunday and had Bible studies hosted at their house and every Wednesday. And so I grew up, and this church is like an evangelical Protestant church. Like, I was born again. I received Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, right? I asked him into my heart and all that stuff. And
how many times?
I didn't even, I don't know.
That happens often though, right? Like in your experience, it wasn't like you just did it once.
Well, I was told that if you do it once, then you're good. Like, you're saved.
Oh, okay.
Then you're good with God.
Okay.
But, and I think this is very common also in that culture, in this teaching. But I still had doubts. It's like, well, did I do it good enough? Did I do it right? I better do it again just in case. There's always that feeling of insecurity, doubt that, like, I don't know.
But if you sin, do you have to do it again?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's not like confession with Catholicism.
Yeah. Which is a whole other podcast.
Yes, that's a whole other. Oh, God.
You should have seen how Toast looked at me. It's like, yep, I know, man.
Did you see the horror and fear in my eyes? Okay. Yeah. So what I was going to get to, though, is that I just thought gay meant happy until I was like a young adult, I would say. Like in high school or
That's
later.
A very long time.
Maybe later. Yeah. Yeah. Like I didn't not have a category in my brain for there are people on the planet who are attracted to people of the same gender or of the same sex. Those people exist. Like, I did not know, like, that was the case at all. So when I was aware of, like, oh, I'm attracted to other girls, like the people that I'm attracted to are other girls, it was like feeling like, oh my God, my blood is fluorescent green. It's like, there's nobody else on the planet like this. Like, I'm really weird. I'm really, really weird. That was the feeling I had.
But
and luckily, oh, what? Go ahead.
But, okay, so in school, kids weren't talking about gay people?
Nope.
Like, even just
not
like
that
if they made fun of someone. I'm not saying it's, you know how kids can be mean.
Yeah.
So you didn't hear people like...
I was aware. Okay, so the closest thing that I can remember along those lines were people making fun of gay guys. But they didn't use the word gay because in Hawaii, the word you use is mahu. And
Right.
a mahu person is an effeminate guy, right? So I guess, I mean, looking back, I think I just chalked it up to, oh, that's, an effeminate guy. That's it.
So literally that.
Yeah. Just, like a
So you didn't
like a
think,
limp-wristed kind of guy.
So you didn't think that those guys liked other guys. You didn't register that.
I guess I didn't give it much thought enough, I guess.
so
And those are
interesting.
guys.
Right, and you're a girl.
And yeah,
Okay, I
and
got
so
it.
if they were
Yeah,
girls, then they weren't what they were, is they were tomboys. And those are girls that are more masculine, just like there's feminine guys, that's mahu. Then there are masculine girls, and those are called tomboys. And that was the extent to what I thought of.
Okay.
Until I realized, I was like, oh my God, okay, yeah, so I have green blood, right? I thought it was all alone.
Okay.
Luckily, I met up with some friends who had grown up separate from me, and it turned out one of them was gay. And so she basically kind of asked me straight out one time. We were just driving, and she was like, "So, are you gay?" And that was the first time somebody asked me that, and so we kind of had a talk.
Was
and
that Lizard?
It was, no, her name was Mel.
Okay.
Yeah. And through that conversation and some of her friends who are also gay, they started they lent me some issues of the Advocate magazine. I was like, oh my God, wow, there's a whole magazine about this. and I would start to go to the specialty newsstand in our town, where you could buy magazines on all kinds of, niche topics, including, of course, porn magazines. And that's where you could find The Advocate.
In the
News
porn
magazine.
section.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Or just, you know what I'm saying? Like that, those were the days when gay was like, it's a shameful thing, right? You have to, you can't just go to the regular supermarket magazine stand and pick up The Advocate. They don't carry that kind of a magazine there, So that was the feeling I had, I guess, about myself, right? Realizing, oh my gosh, I'm gay. Not to mention all of the religious Bible stuff that
You grew up with,
dealt with and everything
Yeah.
like that. That's a whole separate story. But I remember, and I guess this is part of the pivotal phase or chapter, I was in college at the time that Ellen came out on her TV show. And she was on the cover of, what was it, Newsweek, Time? And it said, "Yep, I'm gay."
Yeah.
Right? And at the time, I was living, I had a roommate. We were living, not that kind of a roommate. Like a serious, just a regular roommate. No, just a regular roommate. We were both going to the same school. And so we had an apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, right? And I stayed up by myself because I had to watch this episode of Ellen. And I just remember taking it in and being like, oh my God, this is happening.
Yeah.
And just feeling like, oh wow, society is changing. And I'm so grateful and glad. This is awesome. And I remember during that time too, like Melissa Etheridge, Katie Lang, and just starting to see around me, there are other gay people.
Yeah.
And realizing that there's a lot of us, and that when I'm walking around on the street and I'm seeing a bunch of people, any number of them could be gay. It's like, it's kind of like your eyes just open up and you kind of have that X-ray vision of like, oh, I'm seeing stuff that other people probably don't see because they grew up in a house where you went to Sunday school and had Bible study on Wednesday nights, and they're not gay, so they never had to deal with it, you know? So just that. And I just remember wishing that, like, my parents could have their eyes open too. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, when you're talking about that, it was such a different time. Because when I'm thinking about how you're saying that you thought gay just meant happy all the way through your young adult years. But that time you couldn't Google.
Right.
You couldn't Google.
That's right.
So, I mean, thank God, in a way, we can Google now. Thank God we can Google. But
And we can podcast.
we can podcast. Yep. Yep. So I know we need to wrap up this episode, but so how do you feel that phase in your life, that time in your life when you realized this and your eyes were open, how was your life different after that point?
I feel like during that time, I needed to make a decision as to whether I'm going to live my life as a gay person. Like, am I, going to confront this head on and ask the hard questions of myself and find out the answers for myself? As far as like what the Bible really means and all of that sort of thing, am I going to be true to what I feel inside?
Yeah.
Or am I going to just stuff it down and just, act quote unquote normal so that I don't quote make waves with my family and all of that stuff? Or am I going to be true to myself? Like which struggle am I going to choose? Because either way, it's a struggle, I think. I made the decision to be as true to myself as I can be. And I feel like through making that choice and making that decision, I feel like I learned, I evolved, I became a person that I want to be.
Yeah.
I think I'm closer to the person that I want to be than I would have been if I had made the other choice, which is stuff your feelings down,
Yeah.
pretend you're not gay, make your parents happy,
And we know people like that.
Yeah.
Who have that's what they decided, know, and everyone has the right to decide whatever they want for their lives. But I think that's really neat because pivotal moments, or pivotal times in our life really do lead us to that window or that opportunity to make a decision.
Yeah.
And
No kidding. And it's
Making
a constant,
that-
I think it's a constant choice too, in a way.
Yes.
It's not like you just make it once and okay, then that's it. You
I mean,
have to continue.
metaphysically, once you make that decision, it does send that energy out in a direction.
It helps
I feel
give
like
you,
it does do that.
yeah, I think
but
it
you-
gives you a foothold, but you have to keep
You do have to keep redeciding.
putting the next foot in front of the other
Yeah.
every day.
Very true. So true.
But it gets easier and easier, I think.
It does. I feel like that.
And it's so worth it.
And I love my life.
Me too.
I love my life. So, to feel that way is priceless.
That's right.
Truly.
That is so right. You cannot, and that's why, that's what fires me up, and I love that concept of that you can't pay somebody to do these things for you. You
Right.
have to do them. You earn them. You have to do them. It's on you, and yours is the reward.
Yep.
Yours is the reward.
Very true.
So it was an honor to share our pivotal moments with you, dear listener.
Yeah, if you folks have a pivotal moment that you'd like to share with us, feel free to comment. Where can they comment? On the blog?
Yeah, you can
or
go
on
to
the-
siennaandtoast.com/podcast.
Okay.
That's where we're putting up each episode, and we're opening it up for comments if you would like to share.
Could they also they can also comment on Instagram or on
course,
Facebook,
yeah,
right? Okay. Yeah, and
just Facebook.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, just a quick note. Okay, so we are more active on Instagram. And if you do see our posts on Facebook, they come automatically from stuff we post on Instagram. But we will be reacquainting ourselves with Facebook.
To some degree, yeah.
Just a little.
Oh my
right?
gosh, that's a
I don't
whole nother
know.
episode.
I
Facebook. Talk about mixed feelings.
We're going to just shut it down.
And we know Instagram is owned by Facebook. But anyway, okay.
Yes, we do know that.
Yeah, anyway.
Okay. That's a whole other
Yeah.
topic. Oh my gosh.
That's a whole nother pivotal moment.
All right.
Okay.
So anyways, you all, I hope you guys have a great day, a great week. And until next time, this is Sienna.
And this is Toast telling you to love life, live free.